Recep Tayyip Erdogan very good.
Good evening, or rather good morning, from Ankara's Kızılay Square. I'm in the heart of the capital of Turkey, where the celebration has died down and the results are official. Turkish voters, by a fairly slim margin, delivered President Recep Tayyip Erdogan the executive presidency that he has long desired. According to Turkish state media, about 51.3% of voters voted yes in the referendum on creating an executive presidency, while about 48.7%, give or take, of the voters voted no. There are some irregularities and in the voting, and the two main opposition parties, they being the CHP, the more liberal party here in Turkey, and the HDP, the pro-Kurdish party, they're both contesting the election results. However, Erdogan has declared victory, and Turkey's state election commission has signed off on that declaration. Now that Erdogan has won this executive presidency that he has so long desired, we'll take a look forward at some of the powers he will be enjoying. Erdogan will now be head of government as well as being head of state. Like I mentioned earlier, the prime minister's post will be abolished, and Erdogan will be in charge of appointing all of the government ministers as well as many other high-ranking officials in the government, as well as the judiciary. Likewise, Erdogan will now be able to affiliate with his political party. Formally, his political party is AKP, the Justice and Development Party. Under the current parliamentary system, the president's position is basically a ceremonial role, but Erdogan had expanded those powers. He wasn't technically supposed to affiliate with his party, but he basically did, and he issued many executive orders and presidential decrees, or decrees of some sort, which are now basically codified in law. So over the past 9 months since the coup attempt, as we were discussing earlier, there was what many people refer to as a massive purge. More than 100,000 Turkish officials, being from the military, from all spheres of government, education, major institutions, the judiciary, even mayors. More than 100,000 people were either arrested or fired or suspended from their positions, and that is a sign to critics of Erdogan's authoritarianism and the direction in which the country is going. However, to his many supporters, that clampdown was justified in the battle against the Gülenists, the followers of Fethullah Gülen, who are blamed for the coup attempt. Fethullah Gülen is an Islamic cleric, formerly a close ally of Erdogan, who is now his arch rival, and someone who it appears that Erdogan would like to receive the death penalty. After declaring victory today, Erdogan said the next referendum that the country should embark upon would be a referendum on bringing back the death penalty. And the European Union, which Turkey is still technically trying to join, has said that's the red line, and there will be no Turkey in the European Union if Turkey brings back the death penalty. So today's vote, in a sense, was a rebuke of the European Union, but more so a rebuke of the Kemalism and the secularism in which the country or the Democratic Republic of Turkey, was founded 100 years ago. Just to give my arm a little break, I'll give you a look at the center of Ankara. It was very wild over the past several hours, and I'll give you some footage of that later. But anyway, nearly 100 years ago, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, the war hero turned political leader, founded the modern Turkish Republic, and he founded it as a secular republic. And under the ideology of Kemalism, the secularists had control of most of the major institutions in Turkey. Now Erdogan has basically wrestled that control away from the Kemalists as well as the Gülenists, and likewise he's doing battle right now with the Kurdish militants, although previously Erdogan had been hailed as a peacemaker. But by doing battle with these forces that are said to be conspiring against the Turkish state, he has made many supporters out of Turks. Likewise, Erdogan's brand of Islamic politics has done that as well. Formally, he says he's a democratic leader and not an Islamist leader, but critics call Erdogan an Islamist. And not that I see anything particularly interesting to shine the camera on right now, but this victory was, in a sense, a victory for political Islam, a rebuke of secularism and Kemalism, like I was saying, although some of the supporters may dispute to what extent Erdogan actually is Islamist, likewise to what extent his AKP party is Islamist. But with that said, let's take a little look back at how we got to this point. In June 2015, voters dealt a blow to the AKP. The AKP lost their parliamentary majority, after which Erdogan basically went on a mission to deliver order out of chaos. There was renewed fighting with the Kurdish militants. Turkey had a redo election in November 2015. The AKP was victorious, although they didn't grab enough seats to put this referendum on the ballot. They ended up doing so following the coup attempt and the alleged purge with help from the nationalist MHP, and today voters delivered Erdogan what appears to be order out of chaos. Much remains a mystery going forward. Turkey still has major issues with the Kurdish problem in the southeast. Likewise, the economy had been dipping a little bit. Erdogan and the AKP enjoyed a booming economy in the first decade, but it hasn't been like that since then. So there are significant problems that lie ahead for Turkey, but according to Erdogan's camp, this executive presidency will create the stability that is needed to resolve those problems. That's it. I'm going to call it a wrap from the heart of Ankara on what is now the early morning of April 17th. Goodbye for now from Turkey, where Erdogan, I forgot to mention, he now has the opportunity to remain in power until 2019 if he can parlay this victory into 2 more presidential victories. So Erdogan could now be Turkey's executive president until 2029. And with that, I will call it a wrap. Goodbye from Ankara, Turkey.